hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister has urged the parliamentarians to keep in constant touch with the people in order to resolve the problems on immediate basis. The Foreign Minister says COVID-19 pandemic has posed a challenge of unprecedented scale and magnitude to humanity that necessitate coordinated responses. The Minister for Planning has stressed the implementation of standard operating procedures to prevent the spread of coronavirus in the country. The government is planning to launch a radio school to impart education to students in the wake of coronavirus pandemic. The Economic Coordination Committee has approved a multi-billion agriculture package to provide relief to farmers. In occupied Kashmir, the Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred a youth in Budgam district today. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan has urged the parliamentarians to keep in constant touch with the people in order to resolve the problems on immediate basis. Talking to a group of parliamentarians of national and provincial assemblies during separate meetings in Islamabad today, he assured that the government will provide all possible resources in this regard. The meetings discussed prevalent situation of coronavirus in the country and public welfare and development issues. The parliamentarians lauded the vision of the Prime Minister on introducing a balanced strategy of lockdown to mitigate the sufferings of daily wages and curtailing the spread of coronavirus. Imran Khan said parliamentarians should ask the people in the respective constituencies to take maximum precautionary steps against coronavirus. He also gave directions to members on the eradication of profiteering and hoarding and to ensure availability of essential items to the people. The Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi says COVID-19 pandemic has posed a challenge of unprecedented scale and magnitude to humanity that necessitates coordinated responses. He was speaking at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Council of Foreign Ministers video conference convened by the Russian Federation in its capacity as the current chair of SCO today. The foreign minister briefed the Shanghai Cooperation Organization foreign ministers on Pakistan's coordinated response to COVID-19, covering public health as well as the economic aspects of the crisis. He said Pakistan has been pursuing a carefully calibrated policy of containment against COVID-19. Shah Mahmood Qureshi said even though infections are spreading, Pakistan has seen relatively low fatalities. However, he said there is no room to let our guard down. He said while expanding our capacity to test, trace and quarantine, Pakistan has been instituting smart lockdowns. The foreign minister made a number of proposals to strengthen coordination among the Shanghai Cooperation Organization states against the pandemic. The Minister for Planning and Development has stressed the implementation of standard operating procedures to prevent the spread of coronavirus in the country. Chairing a meeting at the National Command and Operating Center in Islamabad today, he said provinces should play their role to ensure implementation of the standard operating procedures to protect the health of the people. The minister said lockdown has been relaxed to facilitate the people, but the threat of spread of the pandemic persists. Asad Umar said protocol about industrial and construction sectors and comprehensive standard operating procedures have been devised for all fields, including markets. He said the standard operating procedures have been shared with the provinces. The government is planning to launch a radio school to impart education to students in the wake of coronavirus pandemic. This was stated by the Minister for Federal Education and Professional Training, Shafqat Mahmood, while participating in the discussion on the situation arising out of COVID-19 pandemic in the National Assembly today. He said the government has already launched Tele School, which is educating students of various classes from 8 in the morning till 6 in the evening. The minister said the federal government has taken all decisions in consultation with the provinces and other stakeholders regarding the closure of schools and cancellation of board examinations. This is Radio Pakistan. The Economic Coordination Committee has approved a multi-billion agriculture package to provide subsidy to farmers on fertilizers and pesticides, reduction in bank markup on agriculture loans, and sales tax subsidy on locally manufactured tractors. The meeting of the ECC was held in Islamabad today with the advisor to the Prime Minister on Finance and Revenue, Dr. Abdul Hafiz Sheikh, in the chair. The agriculture package is part of the 100 billion rupees earmarked out of the 1200 billion rupees coronavirus relief package for the small and medium enterprises and the agriculture sector. Under the package, subsidy to the tune of approximately 37 billion rupees would be offered to farmers on the purchase of fertilizers. The subsidy scheme will be implemented by the provinces and the amount will be dispersed through scratch and scheme, Rogers scratch card scheme already being implemented in the Punjab, reduction in the markup of agriculture loans to farmers at the total cost of 8.8 billion rupees and subsidy on cotton seed at a cost of 2.3 billion rupees and whitefly pesticides at a cost of 6 billion rupees were also approved. The package would also include 2.5 billion rupees subsidy on sales tax on the locally manufactured tractors for a period of 1 year. The Economic Coordination Committee also approved a proposal by the Poverty Alleviation and Social Safety Division for the disbursement of the special relief package for the population living along the line of control. In a series of tweets today, Prime Minister Imran Khan said Pakistan will continue working to fulfill its commitments under the 27 international conventions it is a party to, including 6 human rights conventions and those which are part of the GSP Plus agreement. He said these commitments are beneficial for us. The Prime Minister said Pakistan's trade has benefited from the European Union's GSP Plus agreement. He said already Pakistan's green initiatives, including the Billion Tree Tsunami and Human Rights National Action Plan, have been appreciated by the European Union. Prime Minister Imran Khan has approved in principle the establishment of Pakistan Post Pension Fund. The decision was taken during a meeting chaired by the Prime Minister regarding pension of Pakistan Post employees in Islamabad today. The purpose of establishing the Pakistan Pension Fund is to reduce the burden of pensions on the government and to ensure better management of employees' pension matters. The Information Minister, Senator Shibli Faraz, says no single party can have a monopoly over the 18th constitutional amendment. In a tweet today, he said debate on a constitutional amendment is part of the democratic process. He said nobody is against national consensus. In occupied Kashmir, the Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred a youth in Budgam district today. The youth, identified as Mirajuddin, was killed after the Indian paramilitary Central Reserve Police Force fired on his vehicle near Kavusa in Narbal area of the district. The troops continued door-to-door search operations in Kupwara, Budgam, Islamabad, Anantnag, Shupaiya, Kulgam, Kishtwar, Samba, Kathua, Rajouri, Punch and other areas of the occupied territory. Myanmar's army has conceded that its troops abused prisoners in Rakhine State and launched an internal probe into the conduct of the soldiers. Myanmar's army chief of a statement came after a video emerged showing that some security force members interrogated blindfolded prisoners in a way not in accordance with the law. And finally, the weather. Rain, wind, thunderstorm with isolated heavy falls and hailstorm is expected in northeast Baluchistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Islamabad, Punjab, Upper Sindh, Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir during the next 12 hours. And however, hot and dry weather is expected elsewhere in the country. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link, facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.